I hope you enjoyed that modest bit of cinematography. I picked up the Minecraft soundtrack on iTunes a few weeks back and felt inspired to do something like a cinematic for this project. I spent a while just thinking about all the scenes and deciding which song I wanted to use for it, and was surprised that it wasn't as difficult to put together as I thought it was going to be. Recorded all the scenes on the first day, though I had to re-record a few the day after, then spent half of the second and part of the third just editing it all together. I tried my best to match the pacing of the music, and I don't know if it's apparent to anyone but myself, but I tried to tell a story with it as well. A bit of an adventure in the Nether and my experience building in it. I'm extremely happy with the final result. It's not perfect, but I'm serious when I say this. I rewatched it over a dozen times, and I love it. I love it so much. Let me know what you think. I'm genuinely curious. As a side note, all the scenes I use for the cinematic are just a fraction of what I actually recorded. I thought that was funny, but it also gave me a lot of options, so it was a great experience overall. Anyways, hello and welcome to this video. I know it's been a while, but I needed to focus on my physical and mental health. Also, I really just wanted this video to be as close to perfect as possible, and I think I just about got there. Before we get started, I figured I should answer some burning questions real quick. First off, yes, I will be including a world download in the description, as usual. This is for Java Edition. I'm actually still playing on 119.4 because I never bothered to update, and probably still won't until 1.21 releases. Second, though I'm not sure if too many people are actually interested, yes, I'll be uploading a tutorial for this build soon enough. I have everything recorded, I just need to edit it all together. Lastly, and I know no one is asking this, I'll actually be taking down one of my previous videos about my previous build in the Nether, the rooms I built in the Basalt Delta about a year ago. Reason being, I absolutely hate that video, and I'm going to cover those rooms in this video instead. I might not delete it outright, but I will private it. It's just not a good video in general, and I've had an intense dislike for it ever since I uploaded it. If you're new to the channel, haven't seen it, or don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. With all that out of the way, let's get started. I actually debated whether I should start the video with shaders or not, but decided to go ahead with it. They just look so gosh darn good. All the glowing effects are especially eye-catching. This is the Nether Hub. You've seen this before, maybe not with shaders though. I think it looks pretty good. Um, we're going to start down here with one of the first rooms. Here's the tunnel as well. Didn't really draw attention to it yet, but looks great with the shaders. These are my materials for the tunnel specifically. Well, I have a few things here I used in some of the other rooms. I spent a little bit organizing all of this after finishing the build, but yeah. So that'll be there in the world download, as well as my equipment and stuff like that. Here we have the first room. This is one of the access points. All the blackstone is meant to be a template, and everything else is stuff I shape around it to match the biome. This is in a warped forest. Nothing built down here yet. There will be in the future, but not the. It won't be the same tower. Uh, you'll see. You'll see in a bit. But here we got some. Tried to shape a tree here with the warped stem and the. I forget what this is called, but that's all right. We got some glass panes here. I really wanted some kind of ethereal vibe here. The magenta and purple, it's like the Enderman, and then the cyan and light blue. candles and glass. I think they contrast well, or they complement them each other well. Got some candles up in the, I'm not sure what to call that, but yeah. And then I've got what's this called? It's one of those flowers. You know the one. Spore blossom. That's the one. For the green particles. I think it fits well here. I like it. I like it a lot. Uh, the reason this is here actually, one, because it's directly in the center of a reasonably sized lava lake down there, and the other, there is you can probably see it just a bit, there's a bastion down there. I wanted to move my Froglight farm into this bastion because it's easier to access, quote unquote, with this access point here. That'll be in the future. Not sure, not sure what everything will look like, but that's for the future. I'll figure it out. And that is the first room. I'll fly to the second room. I'm not sure what this looks like to anyone else, but if for any reason you're sensitive to flashing lights, maybe look away until I'm at the end of the hall. I know the floor can kind of lean in that direction. So I realized with these shaders as well, there's a further view distance, but we've got one room down there. We'll get to that last. And the second of the three rooms, same template. This is in the Basalt Delta. This room is actually an access point for the Nether roof, which I want to build a magma cube farm up there just for the magma cream. The idea being make a magma cream farm so I can make the magma blocks so I can have enough to make a proper gold farm and a proper piglin bartering farm. It's a whole process, and I still do have ideas for the farm itself. I think they're really interesting ideas. I don't have all that sorted out. I'm not sure when I'll get to that, but that's the plan. I thought with all the particles from the Basalt Delta, kind of looked like it was snowing, so I kind of went with that. With the warped wood as well, kind of complemented the white. So we've got some snow layers on the bottom, some snow blocks on the top, some end rods for the light and particle effects. Then I have some gray candles on top of the basalt here, just for a little more, I don't know, a little more detail. Yeah, I was really happy with this build. Also, some soul fire up there behind the warped wood. I think that looks nice. Really happy with the design of this room. Could probably be bigger, but I'm pretty happy with it. That was the second room. And then we'll go on to the third room. And this is where the tower, this is where I built the tower that you saw in the cinematic, and probably on the thumbnail as well. It's a same basalt delta, but polar opposite to the other room. We've got some lava and magma blocks. The gray candles are lit now. Some red candles, and this is mangrove wood. I thought that was the most appropriate wood here. Looks really good. I've got some iron bars, lanterns. Yeah, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I wasn't actually thinking about it until just now. I'll try to give you as much viewing accessibility as I can, because I don't have a tutorial for these rooms just yet. I'll try to make one in the future. I'm not sure when that'll be, but it is on the list. You can see some of the room. Maybe you can recreate it just from this. Some of the details. Maybe you can put your own spin on it. And this leads down. Now, I suppose we'll just go floor by floor, and maybe we'll look at the entire tower at the end. So we'll drop down just a bit. And this is the first floor. I got this is what this entire build kind of starts with. Usually when how I determined I should try to focus on this build is by starting small. So that's what I did. I started with a wall design, and it took a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And then the corners, we've got some lava, and I thought this was pretty cool, having the lava pool around the main platform here, and kind of, yeah, pretty happy with this. This was over here. Maybe I'll get to that last. Yeah, I'll get to that last. Oh, and then the ceiling. I've got some stalactites, kind of cobbled deep slate. I thought that matched pretty well with the basalt. It's a nice domed ceiling. I'm pretty happy with that. I guess we'll move on. To the next floor of the tower, we've got just a very open room here. Didn't think about the gas right now. It's worth noting, I play with a data pack that disables the explosions from ghasts. Otherwise, I don't know how else I would have built this. But that's just how I play. The world download I'll be including does not include all the data packs, but you can... I remove them just for the sake of if people don't want to play with those kinds of things. I leave that up to your discretion, but they are vanilla tweaks data packs, so you can find them at your leisure. But the reason for this room is simply so I can fly in and out with ease. So I'm exploring the Nether, and you can see most of the tower right there. It's an easy way to get inside if I'm using my Elytra. And that was the reasoning behind some parts of the tower. It's the accessibility. You can fly in, or from the bottom, we might just jump down to that. But before that, we've also got a ring of fire and lava just suspended just below this top part of the tower. I like to think it's held up by magnetism, maybe, but I think it just looks good. You can kind of see it from hanging onto the vines here. Got a smaller ring just below it. Not too much detail here, smaller, but... And then, down here, got the roof of this top or bottom portion of the platform, also made of glass, so you can see inside as well. I was really happy with... This actually came after I finished designing the top floor. The idea to have the lava in the corners, and I really wanted the... let's go downside. Let's go down here, actually. I wanted the basalt to kind of spread from the outside in, so you've got something like this. I wanted some more organic building to this, and I think I did pretty well with that. Maybe you saw one of my previous videos I uploaded recently, quote unquote. It was like about maybe a month ago. Maybe not that, but anyways. It was a different design. I redesigned it because I realized without the shaders, it's just a lot of gray, and I wasn't happy with that. So I redesigned it to a little less. I included the wall on the inside here, and in the corners I still have the basalt wrapping in and up, and I don't really know how to describe how this came to be, but I'm really happy with it. It's one of my favorite features, I think. Kind of looks like a hand, just holding up the lava, and it spreads out from both sides so that you can access the doorway there. We've got our striders in here. That was another part of the build design. I wanted an access point for striders if that's how I wanted to enter the tower, and yeah. I did consider when I built this, or when I was trying to design this originally, I wanted to maybe have small little holding areas for the striders, but I then realized with just a trap door above a block, just like that, they can't pathfind out. Well, they can try to pathfind out, but they can't actually, on their own, walk through that space. But you can walk through it, and I can actually just attract them from this little platform here, from all corners. I think there's 6 of these guys in here. There should be at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 of them. And I can hop on, walk right out, and explore the Nether at my leisure. That was the design philosophy. You can see a little bit of the outside of the tower here. Got these nice stalagmites, I think that's right, reaching up from the lava pit. You can see up above. I didn't even talk about the spires like that. There's a lot. There was a lot of very interesting details that went into the process for designing this, and I don't know if I could really cover all that right now. I was thinking about making a separate video, trying to collect all my thoughts and describe my building process. If you're interested in that, let me know. I might still do it anyway, but your engagement might help me decide if I should do it sooner or later. I'll walk back in here, and if I want to get off, I can just step up here, step off, and they're smart enough to wander back into the lava. I hope this guy can't get in here. No, he's fine. I just can't use that exit now. That's fine, that's fine. Underneath this carpet here, you can see there's a lodestone right in the center. I use that. Under this carpet, I have some powdered snow to break my fall. If I want to just drop down from the top all the way to the bottom, no trouble. And yeah, that is the bottom of the tower. That's the outside of the tower. Now we can look at, I think this is a last minute addition I decided on, but this tower is meant as sort of a, well, it's an access point to the Nether, but it's also my point of interest for exploring the Nether, if it were. And to that end, if I were to have some trouble after leaving this tower, first of all, I'd take a compass with me so I could find my way back, but if that fails, I die here, and I have a, what's this called? Respawn anchor. That's what it was. A respawn anchor here, just below this nether chest, or ender chest, and I thought this was kind of cute. Got this stair block here, so I can flip this trapdoor and see inside, just to see how full it is. And I did test this. It is accessible. If I were to die, it would spawn me right on top of this pressure plate, which, in turn, would activate a... So I've got a dispenser underneath the respawn anchor with glowstone in it. A hopper here to refill it if I want. I can show this, because I thought this was cute as well. If I want to refill it, I can just drop the glowstone on the stair block, and it will go right into the hopper. And when I respawn, hits this pressure plate, activates the dispenser, and refills the respawn anchor, so I don't have to worry about it. Anyways, got some chests here for any miscellaneous items in my inventory. We've also got an emergency last chance box. It's named that way for a reason. In case of emergency, break glass. I thought this was an interesting addition to this room. For the sake of showing what's in it, we're going to break the glass. That's alright. It's a shulker box here, surrounded by some gold. That was a nice touch. And inside, we've got an emergency last chance box. And what you'll notice is all of this equipment is actually enchanted with the Curse of Vanishing. I thought this was an interesting idea. So I have this box of incredible equipment, emergency rations. If I lose my gear somewhere else, I can pick up this box and try to reclaim my stuff, but there's a cost. If I were to die a second time, I would lose all of this equipment. So it's a bit of a risky business, that. So we've got Twist the Knife. I might rename this. This is a sharpness 5 sword. Curse of Vanishing, of course. And we've got Salt the Wound. Smite 5 axe. And we've got the Coward's Left Hand. It's a shield. I will rename this to the Coward's Other Left Hand. Or, well, when I eventually get a, what's it called? Totem of Undying, right? I want to rename the Totem of Undying to be the Coward's Left Hand. Or vice versa. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Which one's more deserving of the title? And we've got a glass pickaxe, just to... I thought it was... I couldn't think of anything else, but the Curse of Vanishing. Like if you're not paying attention, you might break it. And we've got Rusted Shovel. Not that clever, but, you know. And we've got the Dunce Cap. So you're a fool if you end up having to wear this. We've got the Stained Pants. I couldn't think of anything else, but you kind of get what I'm going for there. And we've got the Clown Shoes, of course. Curse of Vanishing. Then we've got Quantum Aim. I wasn't sure if this was clever or not. This is, in my mind, it was like, if you can't see what you're aiming at, you're gonna miss, or something along those lines. But it's a Curse of Vanishing. I thought it was relatively clever. Let me know what you think. I didn't rename the arrows. If you've got some name suggestions, I'll consider it, but these are just arrow healing for any undead mobs and regular arrows. This is a mending bow. We've got some stale carrots, because I thought it was kind of clever, right? It's sitting in this box for who knows how long. It might be stale. And we've got some golden apples here. Wow, you really screwed up, huh? Just to rub it in a little bit more. And we've got some extra mileage, some bottles of enchanting for repairing. Everything here is mending, so that's what that's for. We've got the Wings of Shame, of course. Wings of Shame. Curse of Vanishing, of course. And we got some firework rockets. Didn't feel like renaming these, but... And then, I thought I was pretty clever with all these. These are potions. We've got, first off, some Pepto-Bismol Max Strength. It's fire resistance, in case you're not aware. I thought this was kind of clever for any spicy situations you might end up with, or an upset stomach, you know? And we've got some Delayed Inevitability. It's got some regeneration potions. I thought this was kind of clever, but that's just me. Then we've got the Lodestone Compass, of course, that leads back to the tower. Then right here we've got some Eyesight to the Blind, or I should rename this to Eyesight for the Blind, because if I need to use this box, there's a good chance I either couldn't see what I was doing, or I was just blind as all, you know. And finally, we've got some bottles of Wishful Thinking. I thought this was pretty clever. This is an invisibility potion. So if they can't see you, maybe you'll be okay. Maybe. A couple things I wanted to... I'll add some things to this, maybe even remove a couple things. I want to add, first off, the Totem of Undying, and secondly, I want to get... So I still haven't been to an ancient city yet, but I want to add in a recovery compass, because I think that's kind of important for a box like this. But, yeah, I think all this actually took around 3 hours to put together, surprisingly enough. It wasn't even the bottleneck of equipment or books, it was a bottleneck of experience. My only experience farm is my villagers at the moment. But, yeah, it took a while. So I hope I don't have to make that again. I hope I never have to use it. But life comes at us in mysterious ways, and we're not always paying attention. But yeah, I think that's about everything. Let's get a good look at the tower now. I think I covered everything I wanted to. Did I land here all right? Yeah, very good. Very nice. If you want to build something similar to this, I definitely don't recommend building it in Basalt Delta. These magma cubes are surprisingly annoying. Almost as annoying as ghasts. Actually, more annoying in my case, because ghasts don't actually blow up my builds in my world. But yeah, magma cubes, really annoying, because all the lava, they're just squashing around down there. They spawn on all the build that isn't spawn-proofed, which this is now. All of it. I was very meticulous about that. But halfway through the build process, not even halfway, when I was halfway through this bottom portion, I decided to look into alternatives. At first I wanted to use snow golems, but they apparently die immediately in the nether. Makes sense, but it's Minecraft. Sometimes things don't make sense. But eventually I decided to make some iron golems and space them out in little controlled spots around the build, and that helped quite a bit. But yeah, let me know what you think. I've got some ideas for projects in the future still I want to work on, and might be something small I work on soon, but yeah, that has been it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.